The tariffs causing turmoil across the world have also spawned a more domestic drama here. Prime Minister Christopher Luxon has doubled down on his view there is a trade war playing out. This despite his Foreign Minister Winston Peters calling that language hysterical. Senior political correspondent Jenna Lynch looks at this latest war of words.
Day by day, the fallout from Trump's tariffs dominates the minds of world leaders, our own included. Christopher Luxon spent the weekend hitting the phones to those world leaders, drumming up support among free trade-friendly nations.
Making sure that we actually affirm the rules-based system.
His foreign minister, meanwhile, was in Hawaii visiting retired warships and cautioning against the language of war, addressing the Trump tariffs in a speech entitled Enduring Pacific Partnerships to the East-West Centre, saying the use of military language, of a trade war, of the need to fight, of the imperative to form alliances in order to oppose the actions of one country has at times come across as hysterical and short-sighted. Funny, that's exactly the language the Prime Minister has been using.
And we've got a very consistent position around the tariffs and trade war.
If there was a question of who it was directed at, Winston Peters has expressed his displeasure at the Prime Minister's strategy on the tariffs from the day he announced it. Last Thursday, Luxon gave what was billed as speech on foreign affairs and trade to announce his attempts to rally free trade support among CPTPP and EU countries.
Why did you not consult the Foreign Affairs Minister before making a major foreign affairs policy speech?
No, I was talking about trade.
Hours later, when we asked Peters about the idea,
this is all very premature.
Doubling down offshore, telling politicians to, quote, tone down.
Markets lose their nerve, share market speculators lose their nerve, politicians should not lose their nerve, and that's my advice.
Telling RNZ the Prime Minister never consulted him.
No, he didn't check it out when he made that speech and made that those phone calls, and so I hope that he'll get my message and will call me next time.
What do you make of that? Because surely it's concerning for the Foreign Affairs Minister to be reprimanding you publicly.
Well, I just say to you, we have a very strong cabinet alignment. We spoke about our response to this as a cabinet.
Aligned with very different approaches.
It's quite normal in the way that I run my government. I don't expect to see I don't expect to be consulted on every single decision or every single speech of any given minister, and I certainly don't plan to run my speeches past every other minister as well.
Despite the clear difference of opinion,
you're still calling it a trade war, which seems to be exactly what he's saying you shouldn't do. So are you aligned or not?
What I'm saying to you very clearly is that New Zealand's long-standing position, and at the position of our government and all of our cabinet ministers involved with this, is that tariffs and trade wars are bad. I'll be honest with you, you're trying to make a mountain out of a molehill.
The PM insisting everyone is on the same page.
Well, OK, Jenna, how unusual is it for a government to be at odds with itself on a foreign affairs issue?
Yeah, so the disagreements that we've seen between the coalition partners thus far have been on domestic issues, and they've rightly been able to argue that they are three different parties in a modern MMP, mature MMP environment. They can take different positions on things. On foreign affairs, that's slightly different because New Zealand has, for a really long time, had this tradition of kind of a bipartisan approach to foreign affairs, presenting a united face to the globe, no matter which side of politics is in power. Now, Winston Peters and Christopher Luxon are broadly saying the same thing, that we should be cool, calm and collected, but obviously that means two different things to the two different leaders. It was probably entirely predictable that the Prime Minister was going to play things down, saying that there is nothing to see here. Winston Peters has just held a press conference over in Hawaii, and when asked about the matter, he declined to take questions on it, saying he would deal with domestic matters when he got back home.
Righto. Jenna, thanks for that update.